Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to another tiny session of the Age of Adventure RPG. I'm the Game Master, GM Age, and I'm here tonight with the Sundance to my Butch. The Sundance to my Butch. There you go. It's a bit cryptic, but you obviously get it. TAZZ.
I get it, but yeah, none of the younger generation's going to know what the hell you're talking about.
How are you, mate?
I'm coming a morning, as I said. It's been 4 weeks since the last session.
Yes.
Bodies have been buried and prayers have been said over the graves, and now we move on to bigger and better things, hopefully.
That's what I like to hear. Yes, the last game arc was, I think the adventure was the Doom in Dark Wood, where the previous heroes encountered some gremlins, some troublesome gremlins. And unfortunately,
themselves weren't the trouble. It was their boss.
Yeah, their chieftain, their magic user, who dispatched both of you on his own. But
and our good friend.
Your assistant. Yes. What was his name? Frank. No.
Johnny Bricks.
Johnny Bricks. Yep. You can find that video in the Age of Adventure videos. I don't know how to link anywhere, but it's somewhere in the playlist.
Probably the most recent one, apart from this one.
Oh yes, it would have been the last one.
The previous one.
Yep. Thank you, TAZZ. That's why.
Make sure you bring a box of tissues.
That's why you're riding shotgun. So tonight we are going to introduce the two new characters that TAZZ has pretty much gotten ready, and I'm just showing them here, just the pictures. But TAZZ will run us through soon. And we've also got an adventure set up here in the chat called Beneath the Hollow Tree, in case we get to the point of actually starting the adventure. So we'll play it by ear. Are you in the chat, TAZZ? Can you see the adventure and the image?
Yes, I can.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So before we look at that, let us introduce our characters. Take it away, TAZZ.
So the main character is a human wizard known as Tommy Banana. He comes from the land of Copperwood, which is the second largest city in the region. Rivalry with the main city of Ironspire, who our previous characters were from.
Great picture. Very good picture. I like it.
So I hope I don't rub people the wrong way, but the wonders of ChatGPT, I'll just say.
We just edited that. We edited that out.
Sure. And his goal is to develop a chain of clothing stores throughout the land. He is an entrepreneur by trade, though he does have a background in wizard, hence the picture of him holding a scarf. It's a clothing store.
Not adventurers, basic clothing, general purpose clothing, all types of clothing, not adventure.
Yeah, that's
particularly
That's
adventurous clothing. Okay. Oh,
and
very nice.
His partner in crime is Francesco Barbreaker, also known as Frank, who's a dwarven warrior.
Another good picture.
Well, I tried my best.
You know what I like about these pictures? I'll pay you dues here. That when I click on them, they fill up the whole, like they're not distorted or anything. I think in the previous characters they were a little bit non-high res or whatever the term is. Yeah, so that's why I had to kill them.
So thank you very much. So Frank's home is the trading town of Silverstone, outside the Argento silver mine. Which is where the dwarves mine their silver, and his goal is to obtain significant profit from the Tommy Banana clothing stores. He is a representative, and he's also an investor to Tommy Banana.
Oh, okay. So they're in it. Together.
The music's gone up a fair bit, so
yeah,
I'm just going to turn that.
I was about to say, is it just me, or this music has just suddenly escalated?
There we go. So I've just muted it a little
there
bit.
probably is a way to level the music, but anyway, that is awesome.
Anyway, so that's the story of Tommy and Frank,
the tag team. I like it. The deadly tag team. So as I look at, I'm looking at Tommy Banana first, and I can see here you can make a roll for his hero points. So let's start with.
That's the only thing we had to do. Yes.
And I see something else. Is you need to select 2 languages for him in addition to common being
sure. All right. So we're going to roll 1d for hero points.
The dice roller works. That's a good.
That's a good sign, but only 2 hero points, unfortunately.
Not too good. And what 2 extra languages would would you like?
So as well as common,
Mhm.
well, because he's a marketeer, there wouldn't be much call for anything else other than dwarven and elven, I suppose.
All right.
They're the two I can choose.
Slap that.
Oh, yeah,
Put it the old
yeah.
character sheet.
Unless there's something else that you can suggest.
No, Dwarven and Elven arts, two of the main communities in the world. But some players decide to choose weird things, like I've got a player that chose skeletal. One chose,
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
yeah. So you can choose whatever you want. Troll, I think one chose troll.
Yeah. Now the question I had for you was parlay, the skill.
Parlay. Let's have a look at your skills here. You
Yeah.
do have parlay as a human. Yes. What's your question? What is your
So,
question?
can you give us an example of using that in a situation?
Yes. So first of all, did you click enter so I can see your hero points? And there we go. So parlay can be used whenever there's a verbal exchange with another character. Things like persuasion, conning,
Okay, so it could be used to taunt, for example.
taunt. Yep. Anything verbal, you can say, I want to use parlay to whatever effect you like.
Right, yeah.
And you're pretty skilled at it. With a proficiency of 2, you do have the silver tongue.
All
Silvery
right.
barbs, as they call it.
So now off to anything else for Tommy?
Let's have a look. You got the armor. You've got an arcane sword cane. Yep. So the sword cane. Now let me think about this. So it's quite tall then. So it looks like a normal cane, and then you can whip out the sword.
It is two-handed. We've established that.
Okay. Yep. You want to be able to. Oh, so you can use it to block, and then okay. Yep. That's right.
Block.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
it's basically an equivalent to a quarterstaff. It's just it's a bit more fancy.
Yep. No problem.
It's also his arcane sword cane, so he needs that to cast his spells.
Yes. And I will say that even though it can be used as two-handed sword, it's not necessarily concealed, because a concealed item would be double the
Well,
cost.
it is two-handed after all.
Okay, healing kit 6, no problem. And your spells. Now there has been an update to one of the spells. Oh, have you played Wizard before?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay, then you're not even going to know. Have you got any questions about your spells?
No, I don't think so. Not at the moment.
The main one I want to point
Basically,
out.
a mind check to succeed.
Yes, mind check to succeed, but remember, some checks are standard, need 1 success, some checks are hard and need 2 successes, and you only ever get to roll 1 dice when you cast a spell, which means the only way you can increase your dice pool to get 2 successes is preparation, someone helping you, like Frank, or using a hero point.
Sure.
All right, so keep that in mind. Now, the only spell I'll point out that is different to the others, protection, is a free action. So as soon as you get attacked, you can make a roll that protection is active, and if you succeed, you'll get an extra dice to your defense.
That was my question. Yep. Okay.
And that spell also has that spell also has no spell drain. Whereas the other spells, if you fail them and roll a 1, you get 1 point of damage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
Might just make a note of that then.
Yep, so there is a spell drain component. It's essentially the break, so you don't just cast spells every round, I guess. Although, given that you are very skilled at casting spells, the best there can be.
That's what I said about it being a great fighter as well in the last character, and look what happened to them.
Yeah, it's a bit of a balance, but you got Frank. It's interesting, you haven't chosen 2 extremes. Frank's sort of intermediate. Let's have a look at our Frank.
Yeah, so he's not the greatest fighter in the world.
But he's got detect. Is that why?
What was that? Sorry.
You made his proficiency not that high, so he's got some mind skills.
Yeah, that's right. Correct.
Smart. Okay.
Like detect
smart. Detect.
Now, can you explain the teamwork one?
Okay, so whenever another character wants to help a character, they get to roll 1 dice. Unless you are a dwarf, you get to roll 2 dice. You only need 1 success. Yep, you only need 1 success. And if you do succeed, the person you're helping gets a bonus dice. The reason why there isn't a might or a mind is it depends on what you're doing to help them.
Of course, makes sense.
Yeah. So you're very effective at teamwork, but you don't get a hero point for teamwork. So you're sort of sacrificing your turn to give someone else a boost. I don't know.
It's okay.
don't know if you want to note that because you're always asking for hero points willy-nilly.
I'll be asking it all the time, mate. No. So,
And given that, you can roll 1 dice for Frank's hero points.
okay. 1D.
Good segue. Oh, brutal.
Well,
Brutal.
they've invested all their time and energy into the profiteering of this clothing store, so understandable that they do not have a lot of hero worship.
Yep, and pretty
It's
down.
still max is 6, yeah?
Yeah, max is 6. And they've obviously equipped themselves for adventure because I can see you've got the one-handed axe, got some torches, you got a tinderbox to light them, provisions. Fantastic. Well done.
Note that they don't have a lot of money because in fact, hardly any money because they blew it all on their investment. So this is the reason for their adventure, to rebuild their funds, put back into the business.
And you can, don't forget, on the 0 slot, you can add, excuse me, you can add embellishments that are a flavor for your character. So, for example, if Tommy has a sample of his fabrics or that, you could write down in the 0 has a roll of his wares or something, that he wants to show off.
No worries. Yep, I'll do that.
And with Frank, Frank is...
Well, he's beret. Yes, that's...
Yeah, you can flavor with that, but yeah, little things like that just for role playing.
Doesn't do anything for him, but
yeah.
Okay, I will make those adjustments.
Oh yeah, he doesn't. I just realised that.
Yeah. Yes.
All he needs is the dagger and the wings.
I'll say he's got a sample. Cloth samples.
Cloth samples, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. No other questions about his skills? They're pretty self-explanatory.
I don't think so. I'm sure something will come up during the adventure.
But I mean, you've had unarmed before, so you know unarmed. The unarmed can do special actions like grapple, trip, push at a cost of 1 dice. So, a bit hard to execute, but can do some special things unarmed.
So unarmed for him is 2 dice.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to do something special like grapple, like you said, it's only 1 dice.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
No worries.
So, let's have a look.
I lost my laptop there, but all good.
Yep. All right. So, if you're ready, let us might as well introduce the adventure, and then you will see how far you get for tonight.
Sure. Yep.
Why don't you read the blurb? The adventure's called Beneath the Hollow Tree.
Okay, let's go to up here. Okay, so the Darkwood is a vast arboreal expanse that separates the southern plains from the mountainous north. We have been hired by the Warden of the Forest. Was that, what's his name from last adventure?
Omar Talltray. God, I still got his name wrong.
You still got his wrong. Anyway, so Omar, to help subvert the spread of a mind-altering substance being produced by a mysterious race of subterranean humanoids. Can we put an end to their operation and restore peace to the Darkwood? And more importantly, can Tommy and Frank get back on their feet after spending all their funds on their new worthwhile investment? That is the question.
So let me ask the first question before you make your way to the tower. Is you both come from different locations?
Different towns.
So are you traveling together? And if so, which town did you meet at to travel from?
Okay, so we met at Silverstone, which is the trading town that Frank comes from, and we'd be traveling from there.
All right. In that case, you can roll a d6 and I'll tell you how far it takes you to get the journey to the tower after receiving word from the guild, the Adventurers Guild, that there is employment at the end of your journey. A 3 roll is 2 days, so that will cost you 2 provisions or 2 silver per day.
Is in the both of us? Provisions?
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Both of you. So you make your way to the tower. The main road is paved and there are no problems getting to the southern edge of the Darkwood. And there you find the tower that the guild mentioned that you will not miss, they said. You cannot miss this glorious
Is it
structure
the
that is.
Adventurers Guild or was it the Merchants Guild?
This
Considering
is
that's what I'd be talking to.
Well, the Merchants Guild would the Adventurers Guild would be the one sought by
Sure.
Omar. Like he wouldn't
Okay.
approach the merchants for adventurers.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but you're obviously associated with the Merchants Guild. Should you come back with some coin and then establish?
One guild is just like another.
They all look the same. That's very good. So you come across the tower and you're welcomed by the warden, whose name is Omar Talltray. I'm going to paste that in there so because you'll probably remember.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
And I know he's got a lovely jawline. I remember that.
Yes, he looks quite young, and you are actually you've actually stayed with him for a period of time to rest and have a meal and make sure that you're fully rested for the adventure ahead. And
Lovely.
it's during that time inside his very opulent residence, albeit cluttered, full of centuries of hand-me-downs, but nonetheless comfortable. He has a guest room, and he basically tells you of the plight that has befallen the Dark Wood. He says that you aren't the first that he is employed, but he had word back from one of the denizens of the forest that they unfortunately fell at the hands of a gremlin chief that had been turned to the dark side by this mind-altering substance. And since then, he has conducted more research and taken word from those within the forest to try to identify the source. And it is during that time that he befriended what he calls a peculiar bird by the name of Scoot, who, as you've been there, you notice Scoot does arrive in the belfry and basically can talk. I'll put a picture of Scoot. And he tells you that Scoot has been very useful and gathered a lot of information for him, including the whereabouts of what he calls the hollow tree that has been marked by a yellow, well, is marked. They didn't mark it, but it has a yellow mark on it, indicating that this is the place for those who seek the red substance. It goes by many names. The gremlins call it redweed, and it has been their downfall, for it has virtually wiped out the gremlin population. He no longer has contact with them, and he's sad to say that many were turned into sort of crazed thieves that the previous adventurers that he hired, he tasked to deal with. They were successful in dispensing them, but it just revealed that it's actually a horrible story, that they were addicted to this drug, and now it is Omar's responsibility to make sure that this vile substance does not spread to the other fair creatures of the wood. Having fully rested,
what do we know?
Yes, you may
What do we
ask
know
questions.
about? So what do we know about this red weed? You say it's an addictive substance. How addictive?
He says, I know for a fact that it makes gremlins wild, and there also has been some other denizens of the forest that have been found, sadly, their lives taken by the consumption of this product. So it is something that you should not partake in yourself. Should be destroyed at every opportunity. I did have a sample that he takes you into his laboratory,
Yes.
and he basically shows you that he had a small amount of it that he obtained from a gremlin by the name of Eek, who has since disappeared. He basically came to. He was staying with Omar, but Omar doesn't keep anyone there against their will, and he didn't want any help. So he left. So he does not know of the plight, but he left behind a pouch of this substance, which he's done an analysis of. And all I can tell you that is actually a natural substance, which I would say from some type of plant, which I believe is growing underground, part of perhaps a larger crop. But it is of a substance I'm not familiar with myself, not being a herbalist. It is not magical, but it has the effect of affecting the mind.
So while Tommy's entrepreneurial wheels are spinning in his head, Frank asks the question, so what is it you expect from us? You expect us to destroy this crop?
My friendly dwarven warrior. I do not wish to get into the details of how you will cease this operation, whether it's through the power of the pen or the power of the blade, but I must have peace in the forest.
I wish you would.
We must have peace, and I leave it up to you and your ways as adventurers, as you were recommended not only by the guild, but also not only by the Adventurers Guild, but of being good repute according to the Merchants Guild. So I believe you can be trusted. Well, I hope you can be trusted. No, I believe you can be trusted.
So is there anything you can give us?
Scoot Squawks.
Oh, yes.
I can take you through the tangled trees. There is a path. I will lead you the safe way if you are so kind as to have me on the journey. You are very brave, young Scoot.
Says Tommy.
The bird looks at you both.
Where did you learn to speak our language?
Where did I learn? It is like someone asking you, where did you learn? You were born with a tongue.
Yeah,
and
I was
listened.
taught by my family.
Oh, I've listened. I've always been able to speak. Is it something that you find strange? Many of the denizens of the forest can speak.
But they speak the common tongue?
Well, he is. And Omar says, the forest. This wood is mystical and magical, an enchanted wood, you would say. For centuries, my family has ruled over it, and one thing that has emanated and become clear is that it has a way of ensuring that its inhabitants are intelligent. So should you meet other creatures, please do not be afraid of them, unless of course they've been taken by this red substance.
Do I recognise if they have been? Like, do they show some sort of
yes
effect?
All of the sadly all of the fallen that I found and heard of, as well as the young Eek Gremlin, have all had blazing red eyes, fingers caked with red substance, and some even snort as well as eat. And their temperaments are all wild. Even the deceased have a wild glare on their face, as if they've seen a horrible sight before their last breath.
Frank asks, is the substance flammable or affected by any of the elements, like freezing
He says, treat it as you would a herb. It is flammable, as I believe it is from some type of natural substance, a plant perhaps. Obviously.
Will there be a side effect if the red weed is burnt?
Oh, he says that is a very intelligent question. I believe I've worked on it in my laboratory and not had any effect of its fumes.
Okay. So the fumes could be inhaled with no side effects.
Yes, it does seem to be the case, but in its pure form, ingested, it can have vast side effects. Mind altering, I believe, for it is still my belief, even though I do not have proof, it is my belief that it turned the usually peaceful gremlin tribe that we discovered to be thieving and robbing travelers, it turned them into mad criminals, which is not in their nature, despite what you may have heard, my friends. And you probably have heard some rumors of thieves on the outskirts being small humanoid, green creatures and stuff.
And is there a skill or something? Can I make a mind roll or something, or do I got to spend? No, I spend a hero point to.
So
That
there's a
right?
few things you can,
Yeah,
if you do have a skill that relates to it, like Pathfinder would be for natural substances, or
yeah, I don't
um,
think I do.
but what's your
No.
question? What's your question?
Oh, my
Because
question is like, yeah, what do we know about the gremlins?
oh, okay, you can make a it's because you don't have a skill in that. Rather than use a hero point, you can use a hero point to get more information, but you can just make
No,
like a reaction mind check to see what cursory things
sure.
you've heard. So this will be for Tommy.
Me?
Oh, sorry, the dice roller's at the top there.
Yeah, that's all right. I got it.
All right.
Wood. Tommy.
Yep, and then roll one for Frank.
Well, that's definitely a fail.
No,
No,
it's
that's
a mind.
success. That's
Yeah.
right. It's higher.
Yep.
Yep.
Above
No,
the
that's fine.
shoulders,
Just got
Taz.
to
Above the shoulders.
above the shoulders. High, high, high. And that's definitely a fail.
No. So Frank hasn't heard of gremlins at all.
No,
But
well,
Tommy,
he's a sheltered.
yeah,
He's a sheltered life in Singleton.
yeah, knows of the name. Like probably has imaginations of what they are. Tommy has heard of the gremlin tribes. Mainly live in forests and underground. And like any community, you have the good and the bad, but they have a stigma in this part of the world as being trouble, and which Omar says is because they were turned by the redweed. It's not their natural thing, but yeah, the impression is that gremlins are trouble, like not to be trusted. Now, if you want to use a hero point, you can
Tommy,
ask a specific question, and I'll give you the answer.
Tommy, being the fashionista that he is, knows that gremlin tailings, for example, are useful in the dyeing of certain blends of his cloths and clothing. So yes, that's all you can say about that. And
Oh.
one last question he does have to O'More is he's going to use Parlay to see if he would be interested in investing into the business.
Oh, he's
Seeing as how some of his outfits out here are of centuries out of date, he may wish to upgrade his wardrobe.
okay. He looks as though he has a lot of expensive and regal-looking clothes. Yes, but they could be
Yeah.
dated, so you go for that edge. Update his wardrobe. So you're trying to get him as
Looking
a.
for some money, actually. Looking for some money to be able to buy something.
All right, make a you get 2 dice. Yep, and you've made
Get
your
two
pitch.
dice.
Yep.
And Frank can assist if he can.
How's
saying,
Frank?
I'm an investor myself.
All right, make Frank's roll first to see if he's
Cheers, 2 dice.
just 1 die. Oh, 2 dice. Yes, he's a help. Oh, you got this. You've got this worked out. You've got it worked.
So he's got 1 success.
You
for
only
Frank.
need 1 success to help. So
Right.
that's good. So Tommy gets 3 dice to do the
3
business
dice.
pitch.
Oh, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
he almost says, clothing, you say. I must say that.
Looking through my swatches, see?
Oh,
It's
huh.
matches your skin
Ooh.
tone.
He says, what is the name of this business, Mr. Banana?
At the moment, it is still named Tommy Banana after myself.
Oh, is it possible? Oh, look, I am interested. If not to invest, to definitely make a purchase of your wares, perhaps to commission you to make me a wardrobe of a gown. Are you after funds to commence your business, or are you after?
That is correct. We've already invested a significant amount into our business model, and we need some funds to continue on the ground. Hence our interest in this opportunity here.
Okay, he says, look, complete this assignment for me. Obviously, this is of critical importance to ensure not only
Sure.
peace in the woods, but for trade to occur between the southern lands and the northern reaches. So completing this is almost an investment in itself for your business. But
It's true.
um,
We could say that there's a trade route through here.
100%, and I can help with that. Perhaps be one of the outposts for that. I would say that I'm definitely interested in this and happy to speak further. Do you mind if while you're away I come up with perhaps some names for your business that
Sure.
Can-
We're still we're still brainstorming the idea. So
Are you open to um, other names or communities being included in your business?
certainly for if those worthwhile investors that are interested.
This is quite, in this dark time to have this quite fruitful encounter, and also to know that there is hope after this concludes. Obviously, you understand my absolute responsibility will always be as warden of the forest, but um, I have a vast amount of accumulated wealth that this seems like a worthy business to assist in.
You are a warden after all. Wardens need clothing to be able to travel through the forests undetected. Maybe I can assist in that.
Well, as I said, you've got my word that I'll commit to help kickstarting your business.
Lovely.
And then we can talk about in return what you could do for myself and my wardrobe.
Okay, so I'm just going to write here Omar Tooltray, warden and potential investor.
Yep. He's given you his word that he will invest.
Yeah.
So all you need
Lovely.
to do
All right,
is
well,
complete this quest and survive, which is probably
Sure.
all in the same sentence. He says, as you know, this forest. Are you familiar with the forest? Have you actually traveled through the Darkwood before?
I don't believe Tommy or Frank would have traveled through Dark.
You've come from your hometown?
I came from Copperwood, which is my hometown.
Yes.
Much better than that horrible metal place known as Ironspire.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are many.
I've met with
I've heard there are very strong merchant guilds in Ironspire. Quite forceful, in
I
fact.
understand that. Yes, it is something that we will have to deal with as the business grows. But that's down the track. For at the moment, I have my compatriot here, Mr. Frank, who is also an investor in the business.
Yes, as he said. What piqued your interest in the business, if I may ask, Frank?
Frank says, "Well, I'm always looking to upgrade my wardrobe. Dwarves are particularly known for wearing dark colours, and I thought maybe a bit of extra colour inside the mines
Beautiful.
would help us. Yes, would help us, see each other better.
He says
although yes, we do have dark vision. Doesn't mean we don't always want to see everything in greys and
Yes.
and browns. We need something with a bit more brightness.
Yes, you see Omor's sort of eyeing that.
As he adjusts his
Omor's
beret.
eyeball in the beret. Could be a possible addition to his wardrobe. He says, from where is Silverton? Is it east, west, or north of here?
Well, that's I'm asking you, GM. Where would that be?
You can let me know.
Whatever's easier for yourself.
No.
I'll
take
where's Ironspire?
Ironspire south.
Would be
Ironspire south.
South of here. Well, so let's say it's north from here then.
Oh, so near the mountains. All right.
Yeah. Well, that's where the mine would be. Let's say Copperwood is the silver trading town is north near the mountains.
You can choose
And let's say
northeast or
Copperwood is
northwest. Northeast or
Let's say
northwest.
northeast.
Okay, it's
Northeast.
northwest of here. Okay, it was 2 days, wasn't it? I'm just building the
Yes, that's right.
background of the map.
Yeah, sure.
And you might as well tell me where Copper. What was the other place called? Copper.
Copperwood. That's where Tommy's from. Copperwood.
Yep. How
So
far?
let's say that's northwest from here then. Still in the north. Yeah, opposite.
Roll. Give me a D6. I'll just see how far it is. 4, which is 4 is 3 days. Is it? Let's have a look. Travel. 4 is 3 days. All right, 3 days northwest. Beautiful. Okay, and with that, he says the forest it's massive. Roll a D6 for how far this journey into the woods is. Oh, okay, it's closer to the southern end, so it's 1 day's journey into the wood. Now, because you've been staying at his residence, you can decide what time of the day do you want to aim to arrive there. First light, last light, morning or afternoon?
Afternoon, please.
All right. So with that, you balance your journey. Scoot flies out and says, "Well, come on. There's no time like the
Will
present.
that cost us a? Will that cost us a provision?
No, you're
I'm sure
given
it
a
will.
provision. You're given a provision,
Oh,
a packed lunch by Omar for
lovely,
that portion. So that doesn't cost you anything. And
lovely.
I bid you goodbye. Farewell for the day, and hopefully I will see you back before nightfall on the next day. Is
That
that
is
right?
the plan, Omar.
Yeah.
We shall see you soon.
A day there and a day back,
Um,
hopefully.
yeah. Frank tips his hat. His beret. It doesn't come off his head though. It just stays on.
Okay, let's just see if there's any other information here to share. So he said it's up to you of how you want to put an end to the operation. And okay, that's it. All right, you follow Scoot. Before you know it, the tower is lost between all the tangled terrain, and you're winding through twisted and winding between twisted and tall trees, and heavy limbs sort of cover the pathway, blocking out most of the skylight. There's a lot of tangled scrubland, and Scoot warns you, stay to the path, stay to the path. You don't want to travel cross country in this place. As
Oh
he
my good
flies.
bird, says Tommy.
He makes sure that he sort of like scoots above the trees, and then he always returns to say, yep, it's clear, like to make sure that there isn't anything like untoward. And you've been traversing the trail close to a day now. It's just turned after lunch, so you know that you know, assuming Scoot's giving you the right directions. It's been such a winding, twisting, turning terrain. You really have no concept of the direction you're going in. But you can each focus on one thing during your travels. So what would you like to focus on as you're being guided deeper into the wood?
What would we focus on?
Yes, you can. If you can't think of anything, it's just being alert. But you might focus on, I don't know, is there anything else you want to focus on, like searching for
I think just,
provisions if
just
you had
remaining to be
Pathfinder
alert
or
at the moment.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, none of us has got anything like that. Actually, let's Frank can use his detect to see if he can see any of the redweed in its original form as he's traveling.
Yep, so don't roll. So he's going to be looking out for something that produces a red plant. So you're looking for something you're red in that respect.
Something
and what about?
Yeah.
So that's sort of that's more.
Tommy's looking for something in yellow because I believe the yellow is the marker.
Ah,
the tree.
okay. All right. As it's getting to the afternoon, the first thing we need to do is roll the weather. So make a d6 roll. The lower you roll, the better the weather. Ooh.
Not good.
Okay. When you left, it was sunny, but as you've gone deeper into the wood, it turns from overcast to drips, and then as the early afternoon starts, you hear the pour of rain, although because of the heavy canopies, it doesn't seem to be that, there's water sort of dripping and streaming, but you can hear it hitting the top of the canopies, and Scoot comes down like, drenched. But you guys are sort of more under a shower, like definitely a light mist. As you're traveling, Scoot scoots down and says, the hollow tree up ahead. This is where
lovely. Thank you.
This is where I bid you goodbye until you return back to the surface.
Should we call out for you, Scoot, for when we return? Says Tommy.
Call out if you like,
Guide
but
us out of here.
I'll be keeping my eye out for you. I have a duty to perform.
Let's make a note in my notebook to consider ponchos as a potential new clothing line.
Yes. Now, as you were traveling, obviously you're on the lookout. Let's do Frank first. It's Pathfinder. He gets 2 dice, so he's not skilled in it, but he gets a dice because that was his focus.
Yep. So 2 dice.
One success. He doesn't find anything. He does find some red, like flowers and red things, but none of the consistency of being able to grind it down. Not that he's got any tools to do that, but doesn't seem to be what you're looking for. And Tommy was...
He was looking for the yellow marker.
Oh, okay. He can roll 2.
2 dice.
Oh, he only gets one success as
Only one
well.
success.
No, you don't see any trees that have any markings on them.
Is that a? Oh no, hold on. I was going to say that's not a hero point, is it?
No, unless you rolled a 2. What did you roll? Oh no, 1 and 3.
No,
And
but would I have got a hero
yeah,
point
yeah,
for that?
yeah, yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it was
well,
the thing.
No.
Did Frank get a
That's-
3? And he got a
Nope.
4 and 2. You've both rolled either ends of your
Exactly what I
proficiency.
don't need.
That's all right. Get the bad rolls out now. So you're pretty much blind to where you've gone. You can't see any tree with a marking, but Scoot has said that's it. And then he sort of perches himself on a tree and sort of like pecking to get some sort of bug that's in the tree. The sounds of the forest on your travels, you've heard like creatures and there's obviously bugs and that sort of stuff. But as you've gone further in, the rain has replaced any of the forest sounds. And now it's just a pitter patter on the tops of the canopies. What would you like to do?
Okay, so can we? We're looking for that yellow image. That should guide us directly to where we need to go.
Yeah, you see that the path still winds around, and as you sort of move a bit further and move some of the brush, you notice the tree, as I gave you that picture earlier, that has this strange yellow marking on it that looks just like a yellow paint.
Look for Frank will look for any guards or any traps.
Okay, so before you move, there's like we'll say that the forest is so thick that when you part the reeds or the brush, it's like a near distance, a throwing distance. You can see the opening of the, actually I forgot to post a picture of the dark wood, but I'll post that now, better late than never. Yeah, so you're very close. So Frank can make a detect roll. He looks around
2D.
for any signs. You don't see anything in between here and it's a cleared area, like there's leaves and it's obviously very wet and starting to get quite muddy. So you can't make out any traps or dangers between here and the marked tree. What did Tommy want to do?
Tommy wasn't looking for anything. So it's waiting for Frank, expecting Frank to find something, but obviously not.
Not a good start. Well, you can use a hero point to re-roll, but you can't see any dangers. But you do notice it's a close distance, but the ground is very thick with leaves and wet.
He'll look at the path to see how muddy it is and how dirty his boots are going to get from this.
Okay, yeah, because at the moment you are on a sort of pathway, but you'll have to go across the brush to get there. So who's doing this?
That'll be Frank. Sorry, that'll be Tommy.
Yeah, you don't have to make a roll. You know that as soon as you go off the path, the ground as it even takes 1 foot, it's quite soft. So your feet get buried in the soft wet of the undergrowth. So essentially you'll be, your shoes will be muddy.
Not good. Come up with another thing for his
Stilts?
for his clothing line, some sort of boot, special boot.
Boot cover. You better have a note here. You should have you got like a little book?
I'll put that in my sort of like a spare page. Like I've got a spell book, have I not?
You don't have a spell book, but you can in your zero put a diary or a notebook, business.
I'll just put a sort of notebook.
Yeah, and you can make notes in there if you want.
For ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So mark down what you wanted to have there. As you are both looking, because we're going to say that you spend 2 rounds checking and also the testing for the mud, Scoot.
We might need to wrap it up here soon too.
Yeah, Scoot flutters behind you and says, now that we're away from fuck, Jesus, tell you what. Why we're away from Omar? He doesn't pay me much for these assignments, and I need, just like you, I also have business interests, things that I want to do. Become someone one day, Scoot will be. So perhaps if you need more information of what Scoot knows, you could drop a coin my way.
Our funds are mightily depleted. Scoot.
I heard that you're businessmen. All
Look,
merchants have coin.
We do have some coin. Tommy will hand over a silver piece.
Scoot grabs it in his beak and flutters off into the trees.
Yes.
And then after like less than a round, he flutters back down. You're a man. Who gave him the coin?
Tommy did.
You're a good man, Tommy. A person that can be trusted to do business dealings. One question I will answer for you. I have been scouting these forests for a few weeks now to help Omor determine the effects of other communities. So I have seen things.
What have you seen?
Many things. What in particular would you like to know?
That have either exited or entered the tree.
Oh, yes. I can tell you that I have seen that young gremlin, Eek, that Omor spoke of. Yes, he came here with an old, wizened gremlin whose face looked deformed as if he had fallen in a vat of acid. But only Eek, exited from the hollow tree. The old, disfigured one remained within.
Anything else?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I'll hand over another coin. You drive a hard bargain.
Flies. While you're doing the negotiations.
I'm going to use parlay. I'm going to parlay with him.
He's taken that second coin. That's gone. He comes back down. While he's doing that, Frank's been, can do something if you want because he's out of free. Did you want him to do anything else, or just be alert?
Yeah, just be alert. Yeah, just watch that entrance.
He does. Well, he does know that, or does notice that yellow marking, just seems to be a slapdash like symbol made with paint. Like doesn't seem to be like an arrow or anything. It's just like a marking. So I'll give you that information. Yep. What else would you like to know?
I asked whether anyone else has entered or exited the tree recently.
No others I have seen come or go, but some bodies I have found in the wood. One is nearby. Ark!
Can you take me to the body?
Not my job. Was to take you to the tree. Unless you make it worth my while.
Let's parlay here. Come on now. You haven't given me any information for that coin. Surely that's worth something else. Surely.
Okay, make your roll.
2D.
Yep. Oh, you get a hero point. And Scoot says, "Ark, Tommy, those pleading eyes, those human eyes. I do feel bad taking the money for a struggling startup. All right, I'll take one of you to the body if that's what you want to see."
Well, why can't you take both of us?
Oh, you got 2 successes. Well, I thought maybe one of you would want to keep an eye on the tree.
Yeah, but we can't communicate with each other, so let me change that. 3.
The weather's not going to get any better. If you want to come.
Okay. Yep. Frank, you stay here. I'll go and investigate the body.
All right. Do you want to keep playing? Or do you want to end it here?
Let's call it quits there.
All right. So I'll make a note here in the chat because we're the only ones who use this. So
Sure.
Frank looking upon the hollow tree. And Tommy being escorted to a body nearby by Scoot.
Cool.
Beautiful. Bang. That is done. All right. Thank you, TAZZ, for playing tonight.
Pleasure,
a nice start, nice and easing into the adventure. Nothing too untoward has occurred. So we will see you all next time to continue the adventure Beneath the Hollow Tree. GMH signing out.